Hello, this is Shawnee C and welcome to my Path of Exile video. So in this video we're going to go over the Ritual League mechanic. As far as Path of Exile goes, it's very simple. You're probably doing it to the absolute best that you can without knowing it, but you've come looking for a video because you're expecting there to be something more deep to it. So it's not that deep, however it's a good way to get some nice loot and there are ways to optimize it. So I'll discuss some of the basic sides of it and a few ways that you can make sure you get the best out of it. So you'll find the rituals. Obviously, I've opened a map up here, which is endgame content. But when you're going through the zones as you're leveling up, each one of these zones will have anywhere between 2 and 4 rituals in them. And the more rituals do, the more points you get and the better rewards you can get. So I'm going to pop into one of these endgame maps, go find some of these ritual totems and explain a little bit more about
the burden of the creator and wade.
Okay, so I found my first ritual site. So you can see it's a big marked out circle on the floor and there's loads of monsters here to fight. So we'll kill these monsters. And once we've killed all the monsters, if you've got Z press, which I have Z press all the time, which shows stuff on the floor, it shows you that we can now activate this ritual site. So let's go ahead and do that. And what that's going to do is reincarnate the monsters that were originally there, and then we've got to kill them again. But as we kill them, you can see the ritual points here going up at the bottom of my screen, which is the currency we use to buy the rewards from the ritual system. So let's get these guys dead. Yeah, man. Okay, so they're all dead. It unlocks the area because it was originally locked within the circle, and we've got ourselves 1200 points. This also now shows up, and this 1 out of 3 shows you how many ritual sites are going to be in that zone. So for this map that I've got, it's 3, and we've completed 1. This can be anywhere from what I've seen is 2 in a very small zone. There'll sometimes be 2, but usually it'll be between 3 and 4. Obviously, if you've got 4, you get more ritual points, and that is because obviously we've just got 1200 there from killing these monsters. When we find the next ritual site, the monsters from the first site zone will be there as well as the next monsters. So then we'll kill all of them and get more points. And then the third site will have the first totem's points, the monsters, and the second totem's monsters, and the third all at once for one big scrap, which will give us loads of points. So you can click on this and you can see what we've got available to buy. As you can see, there's all this stuff here which we can buy, and you can go, I really like chromatic orbs, I'm going to buy them, but it's best not to buy anything at all until you've unlocked these ones. And the way that it works is the most expensive item is in the top left, and that'll be revealed last. So what you can see here is I've got an item that's appeared that I deferred last time. So the way this defer mechanic works is, here you go, discount at 10% of its original cost. So pay 15% of its cost now, so that's worth 300. So I can pay like, I don't know, quick math, something like 50 tribute points. And what it'll do is, oh, monster's trying to take me out. What it'll do is next, for God's sake, I'm trying to film a video here, guys. What it'll do is, like this, I couldn't afford this at a previous point. You can defer it and it will show up later on for a 10% discount. That point at how long it takes to show up is seems to be quite random, but the more expensive it's the item, sometimes it takes longer. So what I'd recommend at this point is now let's go find the other 2 ritual sites and clear them out before we make a decision on what we're going to take. Okay, so I've just spotted the second site, so let's clear out these monsters. Quite a nice big chunk there. And what we'll go do now is we'll click on the site and we'll start ritual number 2. Again, I'm killing these monsters now, but depending on the type of ritual it is, it depends what the monsters are. And some of them will do chaos damage, some of them will have energy shields that regenerate over time, some of them will have big lasers that fire out from the totem itself, which you've got to dodge. They don't make too much of a difference except how hard the fight is going to be, but as a rule I find them, even while I was leveling, I found them quite simple, so you don't have to worry too much about the type, and it doesn't really have any interaction with the reward. So there you can see, second one done, got a couple of chaos orbs there, we've got some divine, got some cards. I forgot what they're called. Divine cards. Never mind. And there's still these items to go. So we're going to go find the third totem. As you can see, we started off about 1200. We're at now 3200. So we're going to hopefully end up with about 6000 for the next totem. So here we go, at the last totem, and this totem is at the boss site. So if I kill the boss, there you go. So I killed the boss. and now I can do this totem. And I don't know the exact chance of this, but the chance that when we now do this last ritual site, the boss is going to join us in that fight as well. So it can make it quite challenging, especially if the boss is a difficult one. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's keep an eye a bit too high level, but hopefully I won't one-shot the boss. If he even shows up. No, I don't think he showed up. But he can show up, but the benefit of him showing up is you'll get, you know, more tribute points. So, yeah, we've ended up about 5,000 points there. And now we've got full access to the loot that's available. Obviously, you can see what's here, but sometimes it's quite tempting to go, oh, Chaos Orbs, I'll take them. But actually, for me, at the stage I'm at, none of that is mega. Obviously, I've deferred this before because, you know, it might have been good, but essentially you've got a chance to re-roll these, and you can use 2,000 points of your tribute. Obviously, I've got 4,700 to re-roll this and have a chance at some better loot. I'm going to do that, and what I'd say is as long as you've got about 4,000 points, hit re-roll, because if you hit re-roll and you've only got 3,000 points and you've got 1,000 left, you might not even be able to defer a really good item. So it depends how brave you are, in the sense of if you re-roll it and there's an exalted orb there and you can't defer it, you're going to feel quite upset. So let's go ahead and do that. And it doesn't look like we've got anything great, so that's fine. Now we can't re-roll again, so we may as well use his tribute points. So for me, I mean, these ritual splinters are good, and what these ritual splinters do, when you get 100 of these, I'll show you in a second anyway, you can create an orb which can be used to take these out. I'll do that in a second, but for now, I'm just going to take some of these rewards here. Boom, I'm going to defer this item there. Boom, we'll defer that. And now it's got a little sign there saying it's partially paid for. So in later maps or later zones, this will appear again, and you'll see it pop up straight away. And it's something we'll be able to buy for a cheaper price. So as I said, those splinters make these ritual vessels. And what you can do with these ritual vessels is you can right click it, you can go up to a completed ritual site. Obviously this has got lots of monsters on there. Go click on it, and then a bit like the bestiary orb, it fills that ritual vessel with blood. Typical POE metal style. So now this ritual is going to have 20% increased favor. Well, I'll show you that in the map. So basically you go into your map device, you chuck that in there, you chuck it in there with a map that you want to do, and what that's going to do is rituals within that map are going to have 20% improved favor rewards, 20% more ritual monsters respawning faster, sorry, and monster life. It's going to make it a bit more challenging, but what it's going to do is give you more ritual points to spend. I don't know how much effect that's going to have on the actual loot. I don't think any, but if you know you've just deferred a really expensive item, if you've got a bank of these, which, you know, I've got a couple here, you can make sure that you've got them in use after seeing an expensive item. Say you saw like a headhunter or something like that, you want to make sure you've got the points to get in there and buy that. So you click activate, and then the rituals in there will have that applied to them. So some of the ways, you know, in summary, you're going to have 3 to 4 of these ritual sites in each location. Make sure you complete all of them before you choose to buy anything, so you can see if there's anything really rare that you want to buy. If you've got 4,000 plus ritual points and you're not that excited about the loot that you've got, you can click that reroll button, and you've got a chance of finding something else. You might not be able to buy it outright, but you should hopefully have enough points left to defer it. And also, there's another way, obviously, that you can min-max how many points you're going to get. So when you go to the first altar that you find, the first ritual site, if there's 10 monsters there, you kill them, you can go, right, I'll find the next site. And if you go to the next site and there's 50 monsters, you kill them, and then you go to the third site and there's 20. So you've got 50, 20, 10. If you do the 50 first, when you then go to the second one, those 50 ones are going to come back again. And when you do the third one, those 50 ones are going to come back again. So you basically increase the amount of monsters you're going to fight overall. It can be a little bit tedious to do because you have to backtrack on yourself, but that's one way that you can boost the amount of points you get from completing all the rituals, by doing the heaviest monster infested site first. But yeah, that's it really. It's quite a simple mechanic. It's quite a good way to get some free loot. I personally, I've got 4 characters now in this league, and the last 3 that I made, I didn't really bother with the rituals while I was leveling because I obviously had some loot already. I've got some orbs and stuff like that. But while I was leveling through the first time, I found it a really handy way to get some extra currency. So enjoy it. If you've got any more questions, give me a shout. But as far as POE goes, like I say, this is a nice and simple one. Thank you for watching.